Glory to God, glory to God. Would like to welcome you to join us for our Financial Freedom Masterclass that is coming on via Zoom on the 27th of March 2021. It's going to be an awesome session where we're going to teach you how to pay off your mortgage within 6 to 10 years, how to be debt-free and maintain your debt-free status, how to build a business and ministry or organization that will last and outlast you, and how to create financial reserves to finance your vision. You don't want to miss this Financial Freedom Masterclass. The registration fee is only £30 and you can register at www.michaelhattonwood.org. That is michaelhattonwood.org. You need to register and you need to register now. I'm telling you, your life will never remain the same. Register now at michaelhattonwood.org for the Financial Freedom Masterclass. Look forward to see you live on Zoom on the 27th of March 2021. God bless you, and share and invite others. God bless you.
Leadership nuggets, secrets, and capsules. 3 dynamic books by Dr. Michael Huttonwood from the Leadership Institute. The purpose of leadership is not the maintenance of followers, but the production of more leaders.
A leader's job is to influence people to influence others.
3 dynamic books that will propel you to the status of an impact-making, life-changing, quality leader of influence in his or her generation.
When you succeed in life, when you don't raise anybody to do what you are doing, you have already failed.
Leadership nuggets, secrets, and capsules. 3 dynamic books, a must for your library. Order your copy today using the information on your screen.
Because success without a successor is failure.
Welcome to this evening session as we discuss COVID-19 vaccines. Should we or shouldn't we? Glory to God. I appreciate every one of you for joining us this evening. Abi Belland, you are welcome. Melvin, Sister Minister Yvonne Gams, you are welcome. God bless you. Agnes, you are welcome. God bless you. Mama B, you are all welcome. God bless you all on Instagram and on Facebook. We welcome every one of you for taking the time to join us this evening in this informative session. As usual, I'd like to encourage every one of you to start sharing, and invite as many people as you know to join us in this discussion. There's been a lot of discrepancies. There's been a lot of fear. There's been a lot of panic. There's been a lot of misinformation, been a lot of conspiracy theories. I mean, so many that it's gotten many people confused and wondering, should we or shouldn't we take the vaccine? So that is what we are gathered here this evening to discuss. And we trust that God will give us wisdom, and we guess or can also give you some of the facts that we have from the KICC vaccine policy statement that was released by Pastor Matthew Ashimolo and his team, based on a wide research, a town hall meeting that they had, and bringing professionals together to get the information, the right facts, upon which they decided to give out this policy statement, which we're going to look at this evening. Also, the Testify newspaper also gathered a couple of the Black majority churches to unite to support the COVID-19 vaccine rollout. So we'll be reading some of the statements from those organizations and some of the ministers there. So once again, we appreciate every one of you for joining us. Please inform as many people, because this is a subject that affects many people globally. So I'd like to encourage you to invite as many people to join us this evening. So Pastor Johnson, you are welcome. God bless you. Joshua Ado, you are also welcome. God bless you. So I'm going to introduce my panel. Odufukai, you are welcome. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Glory to God. So once again, we have Bishop Jeremy Ayensu from Glorious Inheritance Mission in Tottenham in North London. And we have Pastor Alex Fenning also joining us from Fountain of Life in South London. And then we have Reverend Dr. Moses Afo from the USA also joining us this evening. So, gentlemen, you are all welcome. You are all welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Would you like to say hi to our viewers this evening? Pastor Bishop Jeremy, you want to say hi to our view before we start the conversation? Cynthia Hines, you are welcome. Odufuka, you're welcome. Agnes, welcome. Pastor Michael Johnson, welcome. Abi Bellan, every one of you, Minister Gams, Yvonne Gams, all of you, you are all welcome. God bless you. Bishop Jeremy would like to say hi to our guests, our viewers, rather.
All right, sir. Bishop, you said I should say hi. So hi. Hi, everyone. Well, I learned that from Dr. Afo Sekuso. One said, say hi, just say hi, and that's it. God bless you for being part of what the Lord is doing, and God bless you also for letting me be part of what God is doing through you. And without our guests, our people who would listeners and them that are logged in, all the information we will give out might be nothing. So thank you also very much for wanting to be part of, for willingness to listen and hear and also make a decision in the way forward. God bless you. And I want to acknowledge my colleagues, Pastor Alex and Dr. Afo, and also everyone that would want us to move forward. Thank you very much for having me here tonight. Thank you.
God bless you. John Favor, you are welcome. God bless you. Cynthia Hines is joining us from Connecticut in the USA. God bless you. Okay, Pastor Alex Fenning, you like to say hi to our viewers?
It's always a great joy to be in your midst. And I want to say hi to all our viewers, and then also to our panelists, Dr. Afo. It's been a long time since we met. Yeah. And then Bishop Jeremy, thank you. And our host, Bishop Michael. God bless you all.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Alex. Reverend Dr. Moses Afo.
I'm going to stick to saying hi, and I'm going to enjoy this August group put together, men of God and men of integrity and men of knowledge. So we're just going to ride on their shoulders and their coattails in this discussion.
Thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time. I know Sundays are very busy schedules, busy days for ministers of the gospel, and we appreciate your taking the time to be with us. We're looking at the subject, the COVID-19 vaccine. Should we or shouldn't we? That's what we're looking at. Sandra, you're welcome. on Instagram. And as usual, let's all tell others, share this on our timeline, and invite as many people to join us on this platform as we discuss COVID-19 vaccine. Should we or shouldn't we? Now, there's been a lot of fear, trepidation, misinformation, conspiracy theories, a lot of information going around has been quite for a number of months now. And as a result of that, especially among the BAME, the Black Asian minority ethnic groups, there's been a lot of what's the word? Fear, apprehension. Is that the word? I mean, yeah. And so the statistics showed that among the population, looking at the percentage of people who had received the vaccine among the whites was higher than among the Black Asian minority ethnic group. It's beginning to shift now. So there was a need for the government to probably find out from the BAME leadership and churches to see what can be done about it, which is what brought about the Testify newspaper publishing the UK's Black Majority Churches Unite in support of COVID-19, the vaccine rollout. And also Pastor Matthew Ashimolowo, the global leader of the KICC Church worldwide, the global president, formed a joint committee on vaccination and immunization as an independent expert advisory committee comprising of medical experts and specialists on this particular matter. And they came up with a policy statement, and I'll read that, then I'll start throwing the questions. They said, as a global ministry, we believe in providing our members and those who follow our ministry with accurate and balanced information that will help inform their decisions on critical life matters such as vaccinations. We firmly believe that vaccination may be the single most important health promoting initiative available to mankind. So we firmly believe in the effectiveness of vaccines to prevent serious illness and to save lives. We firmly believe that each person should make an informed decision rather than an emotional one based on myth, and I would like to add or conspiracy theory. So then they gave 10 strong reasons for people in our community to get the vaccination. So before I go into the 10 strong reasons that they gave from the research as to why our community should get the vaccination, first question I'd like to ask the panel is, why is there so much fear, apprehension, trepidation about taking the vaccines? I don't know who wants to start. Why has there been so much fear? I think I was asking Dr. Mendu from the US as to whether it's the same in the US as well. I mean, Dr. Moses comes from the US, and the three of us come from the UK. So why has there been so much fear among, especially the BAME, going forward to take the vaccine? Why is that the case? Who wants to start?
I could start from the U.S. perspective. From the U.S. perspective, you have both cultural, economic, and historical reasons why there is that trepidation. The historical are just known facts that there have been some historical facts that there were a situation in the U.S. where the African American community was used for testing, experimental testing of some drugs, especially when it came to the military, with reference to some diseases. So those are there. And when it comes to economic situations, the way the U.S. Health system works, access is connected to your economic status, in the sense of because we don't have a national health system and we have an insurance system where you got to purchase health So if health is purchased and marketed in a free market, you're going to have economics involved in it, and minority groups may not have the same access as majority as the white population that may have a better income situation. Then lately there have been a lot of research on there have been a lot of research on health disparities as connected to economic situations. So all of that is connected. Now, in addition to that, we cannot discount a lot of misinformation, and I will add disinformation. The two are completely different. Misinformation will be a situation where you have information that is either not enough or information that is misunderstood. Disinformation will be a deliberate attempt, conscious attempt to kind of misinform people, and that's disinformation. You have that also going on, and in the age of knowledge and information, and in the age of data glut, where we get our phones and our computers inundated with information, it's very difficult for us to be able to find out which information is misinformation, which information is disinformation. So people are getting all kinds of information, and it's very difficult for them to sort through. So, from the US perspective, there is a historical setup, there is a cultural setup, and the whole idea of misinformation and disinformation as managing information in this information age is also being a situation. So I really salute you and all those pastors that are making efforts to help guide their congregation in making the right information.
Thank you very much, Dr. Moses. That's powerful. Sandra, you're welcome on Instagram. Danielle764, you are welcome on Instagram. Miriam, you are welcome on Facebook. Pastor Johnson, you're also welcome. Cynthia Hines, you're welcome. Now, Cynthia Hines says the testing on Tuskegee Airmen began a study to record the natural history of syphilis, which many blacks are refusing to take the COVID vaccine. The testing of Tuskegee Airmen began a study to record the natural history of syphilis, which many black men are refusing to take the COVID vaccine. And then Mama B says, yes, the misinformation and disinformation is confusing many. This misinformation and disinformation is confusing many. But Bishop Jeremy, what's your take on this misinformation and this information confusing many? Why is it difficult? Why are the BAME especially finding it difficult to go ahead and take the vaccines? What's in your opinion in the UK? What do you think is happening?
Thank you very much, sir, Dr. Afo, for the elaborate answer you gave. To be honest with you, it is as true as any other fact that you would want to bring into this conversation. I find that, having read around also, this unethical testing of medicines, unethical research issues have been something that has gone on for quite a while, and for quite some time it has actually given a tool to people who want to spread misinformation. The reason being that they would locate and align, if I may also add, misalign some information to things that are there and things are not there. Let us get it also true that in our BAME groups, what it is historically, information is spread out through oral tradition. And so what this man has said and what that man has said and what that man has said goes on and on and on, and most likely nobody or very few people, if I would to not mistaken, very few people will go back and check the source of the information. It will just spread like wildfire. And what was, I don't know if I'll use the word, I don't know who actually wrote this, that if you want to hide something from a black man, write it down. Yeah, that is what, because they would rather say, you didn't tell me, instead of saying, I have written it, I've sent you a mail, I'm expecting you to read it. Even though they expect you to read it, they would want you to tell them. So whoever has the ability to tell, their word will be taken more than what is written down. And it has gone on for generations, which it should change, because we, this generation that are more of a learned generation, is it my camera that is doing that? I'm sorry.
Yes.
This generation, which is more of a learned generation, should be able to seek information and explain to people who do not have the ability to seek sources of information. Number two, I would also think that there is a spiritual faith aspect of why some the black and ethnic minority groups are not taking this vaccine. Because when it all started, I had some videos and other things coming saying that this vaccine will be 666 and is going to put chips in us so that it will be something that back of the beast and other things. And some ministers, I'll use the word some ministers, ignorantly began to spread all that all around. I don't know which God told them that this is the mark of the beast, but if another God told them, they should check the chronology of when the mark of the beast would be revealed and where we are now. So any learned minister, any minister who would want to learn and research would see the end time chronology and then see that, is this the time for the mark of the beast whilst the church is still around? Is this the time for this, or is this the time for that? I personally believe that that has also not helped. So it is good now that ministers are coming back and wanting to take the bull by its horn to say, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Just that your camera keeps going off, but we can hear you.
Okay, I would call my son to come and sort it out then.
No problem.
So it is good that now ministers are coming back to look at what had been said and how we can correct that in course of time. I would think it is good that way. So that is my addition to what Dr. Moses have said, Dr. Afo have said, and I believe that my senior brother Alex has something probably to add to all that is going on.
Paula, you're welcome. Emilia, Bafi, you are welcome. Danielle 764, you are all welcome. God richly bless you for joining us. Okay. All right. Pastor Alex.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Bishop Michael and Bishop Jeremy and Dr. Afom for your contributions. Yeah. On my side, one, there's been this ongoing argument that the vaccine has not been tested enough. Usually, every vaccine that comes on the market goes into a rigorous testing for a long while, which run into many years, before it is approved by the Drug Administration, and then brought into the markets. But unlike this particular vaccine, it just taking months. Just taking months, to come to the market, and therefore people argue that we cannot trust its efficacy, to protect us. Yes, and then two, there is also a strong argument going on, which I have had quite a lot of honey, please. Yeah, going on that they want to use certain people, rich people like Bill Gates and co, want to use the African or the black and African and Asian communities as not just as guinea pigs, but find a way of disseminate our population. Because, for example, when you look at the population of Africa, research indicates that in the next 10 to 20 years, is going to be that we're going to experience a very high population, and that also will open a lot of markets for the West also to sell their products. But then, when you look at the African continent, economically, we are lagging behind on a lot of things, which in a way is going to be a minus to us as Africans. And so they are trying to work out and find a way of reducing the African population. So these are conspiracy theories going on. Another thing too that they keep sending me on WhatsApp, is that all these things it will go away. COVID-19 is like every other virus that have come, that even through our generation, we have seen a lot of viruses that have come and they have all gone away. And so like every other virus, this is also going to go away. And therefore, we should not put ourselves into it by going for the vaccination, because who knows, it will be a way of trying to disseminate the Black population. And among others, they say that it affects pregnancy. With the men, it will affect their sperms and all kinds of things, which, well, I just look at them, I read them, and then I laugh. But because there is information out there, apart from this disinformation and misinformation, when there's always a very good way of finding information. If there is something that is bugging our mind and we don't have enough information, let's go to Gov UK and put in. You go to Gov UK and put in whatever you want to ask, and there will be enough information, to tell you what is going on. And I don't believe that our government, in this state, will come out and put any false information out there, to try to disseminate certain part of the population, which they feel they are irrelevant. We are not irrelevant. We are very, very irrelevant. So these are some few thoughts I'm sharing with us.
Thank you, Pastor Alex. David Boatin, you are welcome. Emilia Buffy, you are welcome. Evelyn Owusu, you are welcome. God bless you all for joining us this evening. Joshua Ado, one more time, you are all welcome. God bless you for joining us. Now, I stated earlier the vaccine policy statement that was released by KICC. They wrote, there are 10 strong reasons for people in our community to get the vaccination. I'd also like to state at the bottom of the screen, if you are watching on Facebook and on YouTube, at the bottom of the screen, we have the conversation on COVID-19 as to whether we should take the vaccine or we shouldn't take the vaccine. And then for current information, if you want to get the facts, you want to get the facts in addition to everything that we're discussing here, you can, for current information on COVID-19, please visit nhs.uk and gov.uk, nhs.uk. Please, you can write that down. If you need more facts to be able to make an informed decision and informed choice, please, for current information, in addition to all the facts that will be given you and the details will be given you, please visit nhs.uk or gov.uk. That's gov.uk. So, like Odufuka, I say, read. It's important that you read. Now, 10 strong reasons for people in our community to get the vaccination. Like we've said, there are many conspiracy theories about population decrease. I mean, there's a lot of them going, but this is a recommendation from KICC's vaccine policy statement, and then we shall discuss. It says, COVID-19 is a serious and life-threatening disease. It is over 500 times more deadly than influenza, and peak COVID-19 causes more than twice the number of deaths from all cancers in the UK, and the reference is below nhs.uk, gov.uk. Then it says COVID-19 can have serious long-term consequences such as chronic lung problems and heart diseases. And it says there's evidence to show that people of the BAME background are at a higher risk of serious illness from COVID-19. Taking the vaccine will reduce this risk. Now, the panel will be coming to you to find out why the evidence shows that people of the BAME background are at a higher risk of serious illness. So please think of that. I'll be coming up with that question very soon. But it says there's evidence to show that people of the BME background are at a higher risk of serious illness from COVID-19. So taking the vaccine will reduce this risk. And it says COVID-19 vaccination reduces your risk. So we are giving you the fact based on the research that was done by the by the KICC vaccination policy that was released. It says evidence is becoming available that vaccinations will prevent transmission of COVID-19 virus, and COVID-19 vaccination reduces your risk of severe infection and the need for admission into the intensive care unit. And it says COVID-19 is safe and effective. It has the approval of UK Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory, MHRA. I'll give the other four after we discuss this point on why is the BAME, why are the BAME at a higher risk of serious illness from COVID-19? Why is that the case?
Well, I think I'll start by saying that many of us from the BAME, at a certain age, we are likely to have something called blood pressure. Some years ago, they would tell you that, oh, it is when you get to between your 45 and 50, but it is not anymore. There are people, as young as 40 in BAME community having high blood pressure. And then also, you take certain illness, which, although they are doing research on, they haven't been able to find a solution or a cure to it, like sickle cell. I learned that if anybody has a sickle cell, you have a high, there's a high probability that if you don't, get vaccinated, you could, and you get infected, you may not survive. So and why is it that it is so? I think I was talking to a medical officer, and he was saying that it's the result of the way we've been raised up, the food we eat, and the makeup of our genetic makeup, so which make us, very highly susceptible to some of these diseases or infections. So I think I will leave it here. I know Bishop Jeremy is on the, he is on the scene, there, so he will also be able to tell us more.
Bishop Jeremy, do you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, thank you very much, Pastor Alex, and also, in actual fact, if you are someone who watched television, you can go back to BBC One. There was a program which was aired on BBC One. I think on the 4th of March, just recently. Why COVID affects black people a lot. And in that program, probably if you go to catch up on demand or something like that, you would find it there. And I watched it myself. And in that program, it was clearly demonstrated that it is not because black people are just there and with white people and the disease just likes the blacks. And so it comes into, there are so many factors that are put together, and some of the factors you wouldn't believe it, that it actually puts black, Asian and minority ethnic groups at a higher risk. If you look at the population in this country and look at the percentage of whites and blacks that are or ethnic minority groups are there, it is just a very low percentage, probably about between 11 and 20%, as it were. But when you're looking at those people that have been affected by this COVID, it is higher percentage the black and ethnic or black, Asian and ethnic minority group. And this is what it is. There are comorbidities that different, just as Pastor Alex mentioned, different combination of other illnesses that the blacks and the ethnic minority groups do suffer. I mean, diabetes, kidney infections, and high blood pressure, so many things. And know that this particular COVID SARS virus 19, the mode that it employs is not just being only just a respiratory issue. It gets to your entire body, and if it's able to limit oxygen flow to your other organs, then you know that if there is comorbidity, I'm saying I use comorbidity to represent different illnesses that that person would have at the time. It's not, it's actually, you are more susceptible, you are more at risk when it comes to that point. You are also looking at, historically, blacks and ethnic minority groups in this country do have health inequalities, have always been something that have been there. Housing inequalities. So we're looking at work inequalities. If even you look at NHS, the people that are frontline, that get to even those that are ill and those that are brought to hospital to be treated, you find black and ethnic minority groups are on the front line than the white counterparts. And so if there is even any contact with an infection, they would actually have that contact first before it reaches the other people. The whites, the ethnic whites, are more in what's it called, management and consultancy and whatever. So those that work right at the forefront are more likely to be faced with the virus. And so even in the NHS, people that have died, workers that have died in from this COVID are disproportionately black and ethnic minority groups, because they are actually at the forefront of it. Let's look at our body, just as Pastor Alex would also say. I am black. My body manufactures vitamin D, which is a good vitamin for actually hindering the increase of, or the what word should I use? Help me here. Like the infection itself, it boosts my immune systems. But my body is not able to manufacture enough vitamin D whilst I'm in this country. If I was in Africa, the sunshine, whatever it is, but in this country, I'm fully covered, because my body is not able to manufacture the vitamin D that will help boost my immune systems. I am also at risk. It is not so with our white brethren. It is totally different. So when you put all these factors together, it's not that the SARS-CoV virus was, unquote, if I use the word quote, as manufactured or came purposely targeted for the black person. It is because of so many factors that you can put together to actually be aware that it is we blacks that are unfairly or fairly, or because of who we are, because of what we are at risk to it. So we take care of ourselves. We should be able to take care of ourselves. Some people would take what's it called, supplements, vitamin supplements, and the usuals that you take, and then your food that you eat. I mean, some of us like a lot of sugary things and oily things and whatever things that are really not very salt. Exactly, salt in there. In this country, when you buy anything, any food item that is already prepared, just look at the salt content. You may not even have to add salt to it when you are cooking it or when you are preparing it in the kitchen, because the seasonings and the spices, they all have salt in them. But we blacks are used to just added salt. Because back home, when I use the word back home in Ghana, I'm a Ghanaian. Back home in Ghana, I sweat and I lose a lot of salt from my body. And so if I take an extra salt in my food, my body will sweat it off, work it out, and whatever. Here too, in this country, I don't perspire so much. So let us all take care of ourselves, not because the COVID is targeted to get you, but conditions and circumstances are such that the black and ethnic minority groups are at risk of catching or of getting serious illness out of being in contact with the COVID virus.
Thank you very much, Bishop. Josie, you are welcome on Instagram. Yvonne Minta, you're welcome. Mommy T Love, you are welcome. Eunice you are also welcome. God richly bless you for joining us. Pastor J. Battels is also joined us. God bless you. Pastor J. Battels says our food. The majority of us, okay, I'm looking for what it says. Yet we majority despise the rules of engagement of prosperity. So I think that's got to do with the comment that Pastor Michael made. Now, there's Cynthia made a comment here. I'll come to Dr. Moses in a minute. Cynthia made a question. My concerns have always been is how can they develop a vaccine for a virus that they didn't know what it really is? And the answer to that from Pastor Johnson was they have already managed to sequence the DNA code of the SARS COVID-19. So they know what it is. Once you know the DNA code of the virus, you can develop a vaccine, and that is the basic science. So I believe that that answers Cynthia's question. So far what we've seen with the question of why the BAME seems to be the ones that are at higher risk. We're hearing BAME are more prone to certain illnesses like high blood pressure. We need to watch food and lifestyle, the diabetes, kidney infections, and health inequality, housing inequality, work inequality. And Pastor Johnson says, based on all that has been said, that's why we must prosper. And our weak immune system, we can't overemphasize a balanced diet, and boost our immune system through vitamin supplements and daily exercises. Then Odufokai says we must use our natural spices. Pastor Jesus, that state, and then a house of prayer for all nations. Says God bless us. Thank you, ministers, for the information. So we appreciate all your contributions that are coming. Pastor Sam Ayi, you're welcome. House of prayer for all nations, you are welcome. Now, with a report that was given by the KICC vaccine policy statement, the frequently asked questions was, why should I consider taking the vaccines? And also they asked, Dr. Moses, I'm coming to you, concerning the latest Johnson and Johnson. And so what are the different types of vaccinations that there are? It says they have the Pfizer BioNTech, they have the Oxford AstraZeneca, which was what we were given when we went. A Moderna vaccine, and then the Johnson and Johnson vaccine. It says it's a single dose vaccine that is based on the DNA of the spike protein presented by a modified human adenovirus viral vector technology similar to the AstraZeneca vaccine. Then they have the Novavax. So I remember when we went to have our vaccine, we asked the question, they told us the Pfizer was not available at that time. What they had available was the Oxford AstraZeneca. So we asked the question, what's the difference between the Pfizer and the AstraZeneca? And then we were told the Pfizer is the American version and the AstraZeneca is the British version. That was what we were told before we went in there. We wanted to know, we had heard of Pfizer and we had heard of AstraZeneca. So we were told the Pfizer was the American version and the AstraZeneca was the British version, which was what we were given. Now, Dr. Moses, you've heard of the Johnson. I understand you have some details about the Johnson and Johnson vaccine. Would you like to tell us what information that came you received?
Well, again, before I go into the Johnson and Johnson, I want to add a little cultural nuance to what the two bishops have mentioned.
Yeah.
I don't ever want Black people or minorities to think there is an inherent mistake with us. That's the reason why we need the vaccine. But I want us to celebrate who we are, because when you look at the Acts of Apostles, chapter 17, verse 26, it reads, "For one man he made every nation of men, that they should inhabit the whole earth, and he determined the times set for them and the exact places where they should live." Verse 27 says, "God did so that we will seek him and perhaps reach out to him and find him. Why am I bringing this particular Acts 17:26 all the way down to uh, 27? So that we have to understand that we didn't choose the race which we were born. It was divine and it had a divine purpose. And there's nothing wrong as much as this particular virus affects us adversely more than other races. There are other viruses that affect other races more than us, which places us in a situation. So this is not to say we are genetically a defect. I don't want anybody to live here thinking that particular way, but to also understand, to celebrate that God intended for us to be who we are, and He had a divine purpose for it. So we should celebrate who we are. I mean, that should, So yes, culturally there are certain things we need to watch. The way we eat, how we live, we could improve it. I mean, we should watch our diet, the amount of salt we put in our body, and stuff like that. We could balance it, we could improve it, because culture is not static. Culture is dynamic and it's improving. So we could improve some of the things we do to make us more healthy. But now coming to this, apart from the issues which we have, there are ethical issues which have been raised concerning the vaccines, and especially for the Johnson and Johnson vaccine. There's a very good report on the Vatican website if you want to read more of it. Among the present vaccines which are present, Johnson and Johnson is one of it's the only vaccine that use what is called the cell line production method, where cells were developed from aborted fetuses, and this particular situation, they have tracked the fetus down to 1985. I want to make this very clear. No live aborted fetus was used for the Johnson and Johnson, but they used cell lines from fetuses which were aborted in 1985. And what did they do with it? They use the cell line to develop the viruses which became part of the vaccine. It does not mean Pfizer and the others did not use also cell lines. Pfizer also used cell line, but they only used cell line in the testing method. But Johnson and Johnson used cell lines in the production of the things needed for the vaccine. Now, the Catholic ethicists and medical research department have made it very clear. If you have options, use other vaccines. But if you don't have options, there is nothing morally wrong in you using the Johnson and Johnson, because you did not make the choice of aborting. You did not make the choice of using those methods. There are a lot of medicines. If we go that line, we will not take, even if they are life-saving medicine. So for us as people, I don't want any of us to go out there misinformed that there's something wrong with the Johnson and Johnson. The only people that have come out to raise issues are the evangelical churches in America and the Catholic Church, but they have also stated clearly, if you don't have a choice and this is going to save your life, God bless you, use it, because God wants you to live and not to die.
Now, the Pastor Alex, the one of the reasons the KICC policy, the reasons they gave, the reasons they recommend that people in our community to get the vaccination. Number 7 says I want number 6 is what I want to. COVID-19 vaccine is safe and effective, and it has the approval of UK Medicines and Healthcare Products Regulatory Agency, the MHRA. One of the statements that was made was, these regulatory bodies and agencies have existed for many years.
Yeah.
Surely they will not put their reputation on the line to confirm or to put their stamp of approval on a vaccine that does not work or will destroy people's lives. What's your take on the? Surely, with such a regulatory agency, they are not going to put their reputation on the line to approve. I think somewhere along the line, I think that even the Queen, the royal family, the Queen even had to weigh in on there after they had received, the two of them had received theirs. Do you think that a regulatory agency that has existed for many years will put their reputation on the line, tell people that the vaccine is okay if it is not okay?
No way. There's no way they would do that, others, probably other nations may do that, but not here, because there are checks and balances all around, that even with the regulatory system, they have a check and balances that somebody will come and inspect their work. Yeah, and if they find that they have not done it according to the laid down rules, they will array them before the court, and deal with them severely. And so these are some of the blessings that those of us who are here can we can find ourselves in. We are blessed to have such a regulatory body that can serve as our voice, the voice of the unheard, so that before any product come on the market, they have their seal of approval. It's authentic. It's not something which is not authentic. What is it?
Fake.
It's not fake. Yeah. So I want to encourage our BAME folks that if you have not gone in for yours and you're having second doubt, please go in. Because COVID-19, I'm a spiritual person, but COVID-19 is going to be with us for quite a while. And if you don't take it, you may end up, somebody who is carrying it may end up giving to you, and you will have no covering. I want to boldly say that I've received mine. My wife and I received ours about 3 weeks ago. Friday was 3 weeks, because we look at the facts, we study it, and we felt, it is it's necessary for us to go for it, and we went for it. Yeah. And did I have any symptoms? Yes. For I think for 2 days I felt a little bit feverish, and tired, and I lay down, but just for a couple of hours, and I was okay. And ever since, I'm okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we actually told them when from the report that was released, it says, what are the pros and cons for taking the vaccination? It says it protects against severe disease symptoms such as shortness of breath and complications. It lessens the impact of the infection for those who catch it. It helps develop herd immunity. The more people that take the vaccination, the more the population is protected from the virus. Reduces the incidence rate, that is the rate of newer cases developing and spreading, and it helps minimize the financial impact, as time off work or business can have significant financial impact on families. Then the cons, so the pros and cons. The cons is immediate and short-term side effects that last a few hours to a few days, like we feel feverish, and we're told when we're going to have the vaccine, because sometimes you may have the little side effects that last for a few hours to a few days. were told, or it was advised, to take paracetamol in the evening before we go to bed. And some of these side effects can also interfere probably with your daily activity, but just for a few days. And these reactions, he said, are common with all vaccines and not just the one for COVID-19. So just as Pastor Alex just mentioned, you probably feel a little bit feverish for a few hours, but they just recommend take paracetamol, and you should be okay. We took ours last week, 2 weeks ago, Friday, and we've been fine since then. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're giving you the facts as was released by the KICC vaccine policy statement. And also, in a few minutes, I'm going to read some of the comments from the Testify newspaper from some of the pastors and ministers on the Testify newspaper. But Bishop Jeremy, you mentioned did you say you've had yours or you're about to have yours?
Well, I have had my first dose.
First dose,
I have had my first dose. I had the AstraZeneca, Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. I have had it, probably waiting for the next one. I'm talking about the second dose because it's a 2-dose vaccine. I'm waiting for. I have not turned into a chimpanzee. It has not changed my DNA. I'm not looking different. You see, the misinformation and disinformation comes in here when it comes to the various types of the vaccine. The Pfizer vaccine uses what is a messenger RNA. And this, in simplistic form, I would explain it this way, that the manufacturers or the makers coded the message that is on the crown of the coronavirus, because corona means crown. So the protein that crowns this is what they took the coding so that it will introduce to your body that this is what it should expect should you get the real virus. And the messenger RNA doesn't have any capacity of reaching into your cell nucleus to get your DNA changed in any way.
That's right.
The mRNA, the messenger RNA, it just disappears in about 2 to 3 hours of its being introduced into your body. And when your body has, it's just like you having a letter. Let me put it this way: you have a letter. In the letter, or with the letter, there is an envelope, and inside the envelope is the message that you want to read. You are not reading the envelope. You are reading the message. And even in most letters that people have, if it's not as important to keep that letter, you will destroy it. You either shred it, you either whatever. And that is what it is. It's only a message, an encoding of what the virus is. So the protein, your body would expect to fight against it by making antibodies, T cells, and cells that soldier cells that will actually fight against it should it find an encoding of the virus, should your virus come and attack you. So it's only a trigger to your body for your body to do that. And different types of vaccines have come to get our bodies work in that way so that our bodies can identify the virus. Please, my advice in here is that please do not think. No one knows the 20 years on, 40 years on, if Jeremy Kwambayensu still lives and he's turned into a chimpanzee or turned into something. I know I have done the good thing by saying, I believe I live in a society. I believe I live in a community. I believe I live with my family. I believe I interact with people. I might be carrying, I might not be carrying. I do testing I work for the NHS. So I do testing every 3 days. I mean, in my life, I have my own test kit at home, and I do it. And I have not tested positive. I'm not saying because I took the vaccine, that's why I've not tested the positive. Because when you take the vaccine, you can still have an attack of the virus, but it's just that the severity of it is just like having a flu, and you've had your flu vaccine. The severity of it, it's what your body fights against, and you do not actually have the full-blown symptoms of what the COVID would have been. But someone who has not taken it is open. And so what we, I would say, what we spiritual people would say, that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. No evil shall come near my dwelling. Any germ that touches my body die instantly. I pray that prayer as well. Any germ that touches my body die instantly. The Bible says that he will keep me in his pavilion, and he will do this, he will do that, he will do that. Yes, I believe all that. Those people that say that and declare that and whatever, ask them, have they never taken paracetamol before in their lives? Is that different from another medicine in itself? Let me rest my case at the moment.
Now, Olutunu says, I've listened to an interview with a retired member of staff from the MHRA, and they will not approve any vaccines that would jeopardize their reputation, and I'm awaiting mine. And then he said, we need to listen to the correct information. We need to listen to the correct information. Then he says, I believe that it's our responsibility to be mindful of protecting the community that we interact with. That's a very powerful contribution.
Thank you.
Olutuno, we really appreciate that. Now let me read the last four, and then we'll begin to round out. Well, the last four of the 10 strong reasons for people in our community, especially the BAME, to get the vaccination from the KICC vaccine policy statement. Number 7, it says the known benefits of COVID-19 vaccinations outweigh the known and potential risks. The vaccines do not cause COVID-19 because they do not contain the coronavirus. That's one of the concerns of certain people. Let me read this before we continue. Sometimes the ones telling you not to go and get a vaccine have secretly gone for this. Let's bear that in mind. That sometimes the people who are telling you don't go for the vaccine have already gone and secured theirs, but they haven't told you. So the whole idea is make sure you get the facts and then make your decisions based on the facts. And like we're saying, for current information on COVID-19, please visit nhs.uk and gov.uk. Like Bishop Jeremy said, we take paracetamol when you're traveling. When you're leaving Africa to come to the West, we used to have a yellow fever. You remember the yellow? I remember a man of God, I think it was Bishop Mensah or somebody said, when they say they're thinking of what? COVID passport or COVID card or whatever, and people are saying, what's all this and all that, or pass, or yellow pass or green pass, they say, what's all this and all that. And he says, when you used to travel from Africa to the West, they'll tell you need to take what? The yellow fever. And you need to have the yellow card inside your passport to prove that you've taken that shot or that jab. And it's the same, something very similar to what is being said right here, that if in order to guard against, infecting others and so on, they say when you get that, you have those cards that you should carry along with you just to prove that you've also got the job, to protect others. So it says the vaccine do not cause COVID-19 because they do not contain the coronavirus. We'll come to that in a minute. Then it says taking the vaccine will protect you and other people, especially those that are at significant risk of severe infection. So we are not just thinking of ourselves, we're also thinking of others, the effect on others. They tell us to wear the mask, they tell us to social distance and all these things, so to protect not just us, but others as well. So with everything that we're talking about, it's important that we bear in mind all these things that we are talking about. Then the final one says, be responsible and do not share false information about the vaccination. If you decide not to take the vaccine, do not discourage other people because you might be putting them at risk of significant harm from COVID-19 infections. Olutonu said there's no difference between the 1970s and the 80s when we had to take vaccines in the yellow card. That's exactly what we are saying. And he says, Olatunu says, yes, we have to take 6 vaccines. 6 vaccines. We have to take 6 vaccines. So anyone wants to say anything about the known benefits of COVID-19 vaccinations outweigh the potential risk. Now I want us to talk the last one about some used to think the vaccines causes the vaccines do not cause COVID-19 because they do not contain the coronavirus. They used to think, some people were spreading that the vaccines contains the coronavirus. And then when people are injected, they're actually injecting them. But the fact is, the vaccines do not cause COVID-19 because they do not contain the coronavirus. I believe that everyone watching this evening has got a lot of information that you can use, you can digest, you can think on, meditate on, to help you if you have not got the vaccine yet, so you can make an informed decision based on everything that you have heard. In addition, we are encouraging you to go to nhs.uk and go to gov.uk, so you can get additional information. Now, as we round up, Pastor Alex, Dr. Afo, and Bishop, would you like to say anything additional before we round up for today?
I will start this ball rolling. I thank you, Bishop Attenwood, for joining the group of pastors that are making an attempt to rightly inform God's people for them to make the right decisions.
Yeah.
I will encourage all those who are hearing this to go get the vaccine if it gets to your turn. I have also pre-registered to get mine, and I'm expecting this week to get mine. In America, we don't have the choice. When you go there, you get what is out there, and I'm sure going to get it because I love my wife, I love my family, and I'm not going to take anything home to them. So I want to be vaccinated and to protect the people I care about. Now, I will encourage anybody who has any question as to any side effects to talk to their primary care doctor, not necessarily a prophet who comes in town. That is not their speciality. God is giving us many graces that includes medical science. So please, if you are worried about side effects or your specific medical condition, the person you need to talk to is your primary health care physician. Don't go call a prophet or get on a prayer line to have that advice. God bless you, and we love you, and we hope that the blessings of the Lord will be your portion so that you could help the kingdom grow instead of you going to church and taking COVID-19 to a lot of people. Go get the vaccination.
God bless you, Dr. Moses. Grace Mills Chipote, thank you very much for joining us. God bless you, Grace Mills Chipote. Bishop, would you like to add something before we round up?
Thank you very much, sir. I would want to probably make a few statements, just one or two, but I'll put it as few. Let us look at it that over 20 million people in the United Kingdom have taken the vaccine, at least the first dose.
Yeah.
Out of that over 20 million people, there has not been any declared death or something saying because this person reacted to the COVID vaccine, they have passed. However, there's been an announcement of probably about 11, according to the research, 11 in 1 million people would have suffered a little bit further than just the fever and the
Headache.
weakness and the headache, but it just went on for few days and they were resolved. So I would say that the vaccine in itself is not a cure. Let's get it right. The vaccine is not a cure for COVID-19. It was particularly brought in for eradication, just as any vaccination program, so that if there's a herd immunity, the virus would not have access to grow and to develop in there. But the virus mutates. And so let us understand that should you decide to take or should you decide not to take, it will be possibly every year, like yearly thing, because there's mutation of the virus. And mutation, you would need these vaccines to be able to eradicate them. Right now, smallpox, chickenpox, I was in school when they line us up as children, and then it looks like AK-45, you know, the gun they used to give the injection.
Yeah.
And they give us that injection. It is for us all to stay well. If you decide to take it, fine. It gives your body a better chance of surviving should you be attacked. I'll use the word a better chance because I'm not saying that flu have not killed people who have taken the flu vaccine, but it gives your body a better chance, and it gives your body the opportunity to have an immune response if you are attacked by the virus. Let us look at it that it also reduces the possibility of you catching the virus and it's blowing to a high proportion for you to get ill. So I am advising by this word that, yes, just as my colleague have already said, see your primary carer who is your GP. Should there be any issue you want to talk about, it is good. I have been part also of a panel and some forums that are done by the Croydon City Council discussing the vaccine among the BAME with Muslim clerics and Jewish clerics and other things. And I believe that it is something that worldwide it would be accepted as yellow fever thing came in, and it was we were looking at getting vaccinated, head vaccination. So you make up your mind. Don't take my word for it, but listen to the facts and what is there. If you have fears, talk to those people that have a know-how and they can support you through it. Thank you very much for being part of this. And Bishop Michael, thank you too for inviting me to be part of it. Thank you, panel, that we will fight later, don't worry. God bless you.
How's Alex?
Yeah. Thank you so much, Bishop Jeremy and Dr. Afo, and our host, Bishop Hattimwood. You know, I tell people that we are on a mission, you know, whether paid or unpaid. In fact, everything we do is service, whether paid or unpaid. And there are challenges on this mission or this assignment that we are involved. And some of the challenges and the struggles may involve some of this pandemic. And that is why God, in his wisdom, has placed around us, you know, scientists who are able to work their socks off to develop, you know, vaccines like this to protect us. And so I will encourage everyone. You know, we need to be able to finish our mission, our assignment. We need to be able to say with Paul that we have finished, we have run the race, we have finished our course, and now lies await us the crown of righteousness that the King of Kings is ready to give to us. We don't want to die. We know that we are all on a long queue heading towards the death chamber, but we don't want to die or go prematurely. When there is a way out of this. And so I will encourage everyone, having listened to the information that has been placed before us, let's go forth and take. I have taken mine, to in fact to let you know that I was, when the report initially came, I was found to be among those who are very, very vulnerable, and I have to shield, but I am very, very prayerful. If you are around me, you find that I am a very prayerful guy. So that doesn't mean that God is not there. God is not watching over me. No, God, I had to use those things that God has placed around me, to ensure that, I enjoy good health so that I can finish my course. So I encourage everyone, not because I have done mine, but it is healthy. It will help you, overcome the challenges that you are going and the struggles that you are likely to face. It will protect you against this deadly disease. This all that is on my heart to share with us today. And thank you, panel, for all the enormous contributions that you have given. Yeah.
God bless you, Pastor Alex. Thank you, Dr. Afo and Bishop Jeremy. God richly bless you. Minister Merlin Yvonne Gam says, thank you, Bishop Mama B, for this opportunity. Thank you, man of God, for sharing with us. Now, as we close, Pastor Alex Iwoha is the founder, the president, the chief executive of the Treasure Publishing, and I've put the Testify newspaper is a very edifying newspaper, which I like to encourage everyone. Take the website details that is on the screen right now, www.testifynewspaper.com, and they organized put together the ministers, the Black majority churches united in support of COVID-19 vaccine rollout. The details will be on that website, www.testifynewspaper.com, and the chief executive is Pastor Alex Iwoha. And I just read in closing, it says, on Sunday, 28th February, 60 of UK's Black majority churches came together to deliver a powerful message about the COVID-19 vaccine to their congregations. And Black church leaders from across the country, some of whom have already had their job, have joined forces to publicly demonstrate their support of the COVID-19 vaccine. They stated, we support the rollout of the COVID-19 vaccine program, and we urge our congregations to seek out the facts about the vaccine from trusted sources. Seek out the facts from trusted sources such as the NHS.uk, gov.uk, and the KICC policy statement and the suggestions that we have brought on this platform. So seek out the facts about the vaccine from trusted sources. Faith in God demands action. So when it is our turn, one of them said, when it's my turn, I'll be having my COVID-19 vaccine. And others also said, I've already had my COVID-19 vaccine. And then it says, this particular demonstration of support follows a series of online Q&A events and outreach work by majority Black church leaders to dispel misinformation and ensure that their members get the facts about the vaccine. For more details, please go on that website. Testify newspaper has got a lot of details, and to add to what you have already heard, and also the KICC vaccine policy statement. I trust that you have been blessed by everything that you have heard on this platform. I like to believe that it's been very helpful, very informative, and I like you to let's appreciate our distinguished gentlemen who joined us today, and we'll also like to appreciate every one of you for joining us on Instagram and on Facebook and on YouTube this evening. We really appreciate every one of you for being here with us. So Dofokai said, God bless you, Bishop, and all the men of God. We appreciate you so much. And Pastor Isaac Opoku Abebio says, well done, great man. God bless you. So once again, thank you all for joining us this evening. We'll be back next week. Olutunu, God bless you for your contributions, and everyone who joined us as well. Grace Mills Chipote. We'll be back next week, Sunday evening. Our mental health awareness session probably will be combined with our, if there are there's additional information we want to bring across for the concerning the COVID-19 vaccines. Next week, Sunday, we'll be back at the same time from 7 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. We've just readjusted this program, and we only have it on the first 2 Sundays. One of the things we learned from the mental health awareness session from Bishop Jeremy and Dr. Afo, Pastor Alex was there, thing about self-care. So we've reduced the meeting, the program to 2 Sundays a month. That the first 2 Sundays of the month will be discussing either the vaccine or mental health issues, depression, and all those things. So next week, Sunday evening, we'll have the second round for this month of March. So you can join us next week, Sunday, 7 p.m. in the evening, as we discuss mental health issues, the vaccines, and other stuff. We appreciate you. Tomorrow, 12 p.m. to 1 p.m., we have the pastors, leaders, ministers manna, and we are looking at the importance of vision. The importance of vision. Now, men of God, I just remembered, you just discovered, I hope you've heard, Israel, I understand, is 94 to 96%, they vaccinated their people. Yeah. Maybe next week when we'll take it from there, in addition to everything, the whole of the nation Israel, the moment all these things started, they said things. Israel doesn't play. And they vaccinated their 94 to 96%, if I'm right with the statistics. They've already vaccinated their people, and they are opening up to tourists and all those things. So I think we are on the right track. So, ladies and gentlemen, 12 to 1 p.m. tomorrow, we have the pastors, ministers manna. Please join us. And we're going to close out with a video about our financial freedom masterclass that is coming on the 27th of this month. I would like to invite every one of you to register for the financial freedom masterclass that is coming on the 27th of March via Zoom. So please take the details and register. We need to be financially free and have a voice. God richly bless you. Gentlemen, please stay right where you are, and we'll just close out after this advert. God bless you, and thank you very much for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join me this evening. And everyone that joined us, we really appreciate every one of you. Thank you once again. Glory to God, glory to God. Would like to welcome you to join us for our Financial Freedom Masterclass that is coming on via Zoom on the 27th of March 2021. It's going to be an awesome session where we're going to teach you how to pay off your mortgage within 6 to 10 years, how to be debt-free and maintain your debt-free status, how to build a business and ministry or organization that will last and outlast you, and how to create financial reserves to finance your vision. You don't want to miss this Financial Freedom Masterclass. The registration fee is only £30, and you can register at www.michaelhattonwood.org. That is michaelhattonwood.org. You need to register, and you need to register now. I'm telling you, your life will never remain the same. Register now at michaelhattonwood.org for the Financial Freedom Masterclass. Look forward to see you live on Zoom on the 27th of March 2021. God bless you, and share and invite others. God bless.